So, hi guys, Stoomboy, the combat companion. So, obviously, every show is brought to you by Hard Life Fightwear. Hard Life Fightwear, in my eyes, number one, a fight apparel team or fight apparel company within the UK, offering some amazing rash guards, shorts, gis, belts, all that kind of stuff. So, do a lot of custom gear as well. So, anybody looking for custom gear for whether it be jiu-jitsu matches, grappling matches, MMA, Hard Life Fightwear, I've got you covered. So, just head over to hardlifefightwear.co.uk at the bottom of the screen. Add in the discount code STOOM15 and you'll get a little bit of a discount from whatever you buy. So now we're going to be talking. I don't normally do the young team. I don't really interview the young team, but I do interview a few. So obviously I saw Cora Tervet is going to have a match this Saturday at Raw MMA 6. So I thought, do you know what? Let's get Cora on. I've known Cora for a while through jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, known her dad and so on. So I've been able to see Cora on the mats, out there, winning all sorts. Do you know what I mean? And now, obviously, going into MMA, she's going to do exactly the same thing in MMA as she has been in jiu-jitsu. So fighting out of Braveheart MMA, obviously under Scottish legend in MMA, Stevie Ray. Gracie Baha does her jiu-jitsu over there under, again, another Scottish legend, Darren Clark. And then fighting down Muay Thai, at Fighting Fit Gym under Kev Cottrell. So 3 absolute Scottish legends in the game. So, Cora, listen, absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me.
Thank you for having me on.
Oh, listen, it was absolute pleasure. I remember we were at BMF and obviously coming out for your debut, obviously against Grace Plumley, and Grace had her debut as well. So, and it was brilliant to see. I mean, obviously, because again, I think she was a year older than you, so I think she was 14, you were 13, and but I mean, the matchup you two had, everybody was talking about it all night.
Yeah, it was. So we were the only kids fight on the card, and obviously first to set the fights up and just first fight. I loved it, totally loved it. And Grace was taller than that, but there was times where I was doubting myself. But see, watching it back, there's you watch it back and it's totally different from how it is in real life.
Yeah.
Totally
thing as well, I mean, once you took it to the ground, it was pretty much all you from then on until you finished it. Do you know what I mean? Which obviously Grace is, don't get me wrong, Grace does jiu-jitsu as well, but Grace is probably more well known for striking, obviously doing Muay Thai and stuff like that. So
she's a lot taller as well.
Yeah.
So long reach and
Yeah. But it was an awesome matchup. And again, the BMF stage, I mean, obviously coming out,
BMF is
that was awesome.
Amazing. Amazing event, honestly. And I think it was such a good fit for my debut.
Yeah.
So
in Scotland as well.
Home crowd.
Which so it's not very often you're going to get a chance to fight in Scotland. Do you know what I mean? So anytime it comes up, then definitely. Obviously training then. So we mentioned the 3 gyms there: Fighting Fit doing Muay Thai, Gracie Baha doing your jiu-jitsu, and then MMA obviously at Braveheart. So very busy, very, very busy.
Very busy. So 6 nights a week. So we get the Saturday off, but if my dad's free, we'll go hit pads, work on what we need to work on. But it's 2-3 hours a night, so busy.
Yeah. I mean, because obviously, again, you're young, so do you know what I mean? You're not going to be as sore as me and your dad after we train for an hour. Do you know what I mean? We have to take the next night off and stuff like that. So, I mean, how is it on you? I mean, in regards to kind of niggling pains and injuries and stuff like that.
If anything pain or anything hurts in my body, I'll probably just take it easy.
Yeah.
If it's not that hurtful, sore, I'll probably just train as hard. But when I'm training, it totally just goes away until after. But I've never really had a big injury other than my sprained ankle. That's really it.
Yeah. Just a couple of comments coming in. We've got Miles Painter. So Miles Painter does articles for MMA UK News. So what he
Mhm.
does is he does fighter profiles,
Right.
and the fighter profiles are always awesome. So he does it for like a lot of the amateurs coming up, and certainly the pros. He's done a few on Stevie Ray, and they're always fantastic. So he's just saying a women's MMA interview. It's been a while since we had one of these. I don't think it has been a while. I'm trying to think. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, listen, we do bring women on. There's women come on the show definitely. So there's a lot of fantastic female fighters out there. So and then just saying, second interview of the day, we did an interview with Aaron Oliphant earlier on. So
Oh,
higher
nice.
level. So
Yeah.
he's up. He's at UK FC this weekend.
Is it?
Um,
Oh,
so
nice.
no doubt you'll see each other on the way down the road at some point. So you'll pass each other, I'm sure. But yeah, tell us about trying to keep everything together because obviously work, training, having school, homework. I mean, you're in third year, so it's now an
Yeah.
important year for you. So how do you manage to fit everything in? Because me, I work. Obviously, I do this kind of stuff as well,
Yeah.
and then when I am training, do you know what I mean? Sometimes I struggle just to kind of fit
Mm.
everything on.
So I would say because I've been doing it like so long, it's a routine now.
Yeah,
Um, Even when it's fight week or fight camp, it's not as big as a difference because I still train loads even
yeah,
if I'm not fighting. And I feel like even if I feel rubbish, training just always helps, like
yeah.
no matter what. So I'll just go to school, come home, get a wee snack, then go to training, and then whatever needs done, I'll do that after training.
Yeah. What about now? Because I remember, like after competitions, the ritual after competitions was obviously when you went to compete on the way up the road, you would get a McDonald's or a Burger King or something like that. Is that still the
Yeah.
same? Is that still the same now, or do you?
So, so when I had my MMA fight, like my first one, I feel like I was watching my weight for that one.
Yeah,
Um, so then I kind of after that I felt like I joined just ate loads, and I shouldn't have because I got really sick because my body's not had that much junk in
yeah,
so long.
yeah,
But for my second one, I think we just went out for a proper food,
yeah,
and like I just didn't pig out,
yeah.
so that was fine. So I'm not doing that anymore.
Because that was
Um,
always great. I mean, after competitions, it was always like I remember like going with like my son, my daughter, and do you know what I mean the ritual was always
yeah,
on the way home, you would stop at like a services and you would get a Burger King or a McDonald's or
yeah.
something like that. So
So
they,
I feel like that will like be for this one because we're just going to head home afterwards.
yeah,
So stop and get something or
yeah,
just whatever. But because we were staying that night of the fight as well, we went to a proper restaurant, got a big rack of ribs.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
Nice, nice.
So
So got obviously a fan of yours, Kelly Somerville, the great Kelly
yeah,
Somerville. Just saying, a massive Cora fans in our family. We're absolutely rooting for her, for you, honey. So Kelly's absolutely
yeah,
brilliant. I love seeing Kelly's
yeah,
posts on Facebook. Do you know what I mean? So very,
yeah,
very positive women. Very positive women. So,
yeah.
um, so yeah. I mean, you've got massive support. Which I mean, we saw there's
Oh,
quite
loads.
a lot of people at BMF. Do you know what I mean? We saw
Yeah.
a load of people come through. So, and even the
So
comments when you put posts up, everybody was all over the posts.
I've got a massive support crowd and like everybody's so supportive. That was actually only like half the people that were supposed to come.
Yeah,
So obviously there's some that can't make it in that. But even my old clubs in that, so I used to do Cooksoul, they were getting a table and so I'm so grateful for everybody and everyone's support
yeah,
because never one doubt, like one doubt ever.
yeah. What about school? How do they feel? Because obviously you go into school and do you know what I mean? I remember like Faith going into school and if she'd done a jiu-jitsu comp, she'd won, she went into school, they made a massive deal of it. Like they
Yeah.
did an assembly and then they would bring her up on the stage. She was so embarrassed. She was always embarrassed. So, but how
I
did the
just got
school
two
deal with you?
awards actually for that. So
Nice.
I got one for achievement and then another one for talent.
Yeah.
Um, but I actually couldn't make it because I was supposed to be doing stuff with Stevie that night. So I'll get my awards tomorrow.
Nice.
But obviously they still done a big recognition for it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What about friends as well? I mean, friends must be like, do you know what I mean? You must have a lot of friends because
Yeah.
again they'll be like, oh well, if somebody picks on me or somebody tries to pick on me, Cora will beat them up.
So I've actually got a really good friend group. There's never really any drama that we get involved in. So I think I used to have not the best of friends, and they'd always what you said, expect me to kind of stick up for them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that goes on my reputation.
Yes.
So I think just surrounding yourself with the best people can make you like they're also supportive as well.
Yeah.
So might be fighting in Glasgow BMF in December.
Yes.
So a few of my friends have actually said they would come. So that'd be nice.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, definitely awesome. I don't see why BMF would not have you on again, do you know what I mean? Especially up here, because, do you know what I mean? The hometown girl coming, do you know what I mean? And had an amazing fight the last time. So, yeah. The big thing is trying to find an opponent for you. That's the only thing. Do you know what I mean? So, but I'm sure they'll get one.
Hopefully. Because I feel like fight weeks just gets you, and I guess me anyway, in such a good mood. Like, a lot of people are nervous, but I don't really. I feel like I'll get wee little nerves, but when I'm in the cage, it just completely goes, and it's just me and my opponent.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So
you never take easy fights either. It's never easy. I mean, obviously, Grace, for a debut, Grace was tall and, do you know what I mean? She had a lot of reach and so on. Then you move on to Jazzy Tyson. Do you know what I mean?
Jazzy's such an amazing and for what she's achieved.
Yeah. And then now, obviously, Amelia. So 3 absolute massive tests for you. Do you know what I mean? But I remember the Grace one, obviously came out, won that one. I remember they were talking about the Jazzy one and said, oh my God, this may be too much for her. But I mean, you went, I think it was 1-1 going into the last round. Do you know what I mean? So
I feel like it was just my breathing that caught me off guard. But that's I just lost that, and then I feel like going into this one, working because we worked on what I needed to work on. I'm just so in a different perspective of it. It's totally different watching it back than what it is in the cage. But Jazzy is honestly amazing, and so is Grace. And obviously Amelia as well.
Nah, definitely. Well, listen, I'm looking forward to seeing obviously what you're going to do on Saturday night, definitely. So what's next? You mentioned obviously BMF, potentially BMF in December, but I mean, where would you like to go with this? Because I mean, this, do you know what I mean? The world's at your fingertips at the moment. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, this is like the very, very beginning. But where would you like to see yourself going?
The best of the best, hopefully. So I feel like just continuing what I'm doing at the minute. Obviously, the fight in Glasgow, if that happens, home crowd. But hopefully, just making it would be a dream. To be fair, it's be amazing.
Yeah. Hopefully, one day, first Scottish female UFC champion.
Yeah, that's the goal, anyways.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Definitely. What's it like as well? I know we spoke about this before, but we talked about confidence, and I was saying before we came on air, it must give you that bit more confidence to turn around in your corner and to see Stevie Ray. I mean, Stevie Ray, in my eyes, and the majority of Scotland, is probably one of the best Scottish MMA fighters that we've got. I know we've got like Paul Craig and stuff like that. We've got Chris Duncan, loads of other people, but Stevie Ray was probably the best. And even these guys would say Stevie Ray was the best.
So there's a big difference as all my coaches are so helpful, so supportive, but when it's one-on-one with Stevie, he just knows what a fight's like. Like he works on every aspect, as like the scenarios, what she's gonna do, and even if you lose or win, what the outcome is, and he's just got a totally different perspective
Yeah.
on, because he's been to the best, like UFC, PFL that he's fighting in 28th, I'm sure.
28th of September, yeah. So up
So we're
against
going to that.
up against Lou Long.
Yeah.
So again, one of Wales's top MMA fighters. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So and I think it's a fight. I don't know. I don't think they fought before, but it's a fight that potentially could have happened at any
Yeah.
point. Do you know what I mean? So it's great to see the two of them go at
Yeah.
it. So and I remember Stevie at when I went, it was UFC in Glasgow, and I remember when Stevie walked out, the place went crazy. Do you know what I mean? It went
Yeah, it's
absolutely
always
crazy.
amazing at home crowds for the
Yeah.
best.
So it's going to be the same on the 28th. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
um, got a couple of comments coming in. Just again, Kelly Somerville, just saying if any young female fighter can make it, this is the one 100%. So just saying if any female fighter can make it to the UFC, make a UFC
Yeah.
first female Scottish female champion, not even first Scottish female champion, first Scottish champion. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
we're not had a champion from Scotland as of yet. Do you know what I mean? We are going to. This generation of fighters is going to give us at
Yeah.
least one UFC champion. So, so Kelly, 100% behind you. So,
Thank you,
uh,
Kelly.
and then Miles Painter just saying, good to see Stoom give females the stage too. I always do. I mean, as it's difficult. Sometimes it's difficult because a lot of MMA cards, you don't see a lot of female fights, which is a bit disappointing. Do you know what I mean? I would love to see more females on cards. But yeah, it doesn't tend to happen, Cora. It doesn't tend to
Yeah.
happen at all.
There's not many.
Yeah,
Like, looking for jiu-jitsu matches or that, there's not really many, because there's so many different levels
yeah,
of the sport as
yeah.
well.
It'll change. I mean, I'd say there's a lot,
Yeah.
I mean, especially let's say yourself. I mean, your friends will be seeing, oh my God, look what Cora's doing. Oh, I'm going to give that a try. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other females as well, where their friends will jump in and say, let's give it a try and see what happens. Do you know what I mean? So, so yeah, fingers crossed, more and more females step up, and more promotions put
Yeah.
more females on the card as well.
Yeah.
So, anybody you want to shout out to then, Cora? So obviously friends, family members, teammates,
Yeah.
sponsors, anything that you may have.
So obviously, just family is my biggest supporters ever. But every club, there's no bad blood between any of them, and they're always, even if I'm fighting in jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai's still so supportive,
Yeah,
and they're just all so supportive, and I couldn't be more grateful for any of this. Like, I'm so thankful.
yeah,
So Fighting Fit Gym, Braveheart and Gracie Barra, they're obviously my gyms, and just have so much love and respect for everybody there, um,
yeah,
and family and friends. So
yeah. And Cora's been in the game for what seems like forever. I mean, she's only
yeah,
13 years old, and as I said, we were talking before we came on air, and first comp was in 2018.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So she's been at this, doing this for 6 years, which is longer than most people. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So yeah, she knows her stuff. Jiu-jitsu is awesome. Do you know what I mean? Jiu-jitsu,
yeah. I started that just before I turned 7, so
yeah, yeah,
2017, sorry,
yeah.
2017.
So yeah, 7 years then, 7 years
Yeah,
in jiu-jitsu. So jiu-jitsu is awesome. MMA is awesome as well. Her striking's absolutely brilliant. So for the age she's at, for being 13 years old, do you know what I mean? She's already a way ahead of a lot of people her own age. So it's going to be buzzing. Saturday, Raw
yeah,
MMA 5, oh sorry, 6.
thanks.
Um, head over to the Raw MMA Facebook page or Instagram page, and you'll get all the information through there. There's a lot of amazing kids that are going to be on this card, so definitely make sure you check it out. Raw MMA 6. So there we go, guys. Cora Tervet, Gracie Baja, Fighting Fit Gym, and Braveheart MMA. So, but Cora, listen, thank you very much for
Thank
taking
you.
time to speak to me. Have you got
No,
homework to do now?
No, actually, I'm gonna get my dinner. So
No, well, listen, enjoy. Have a nice time on Saturday. Do you
thank
know what I mean?
you. I
Your
will.
dad, your dad will catch me up anyway. So, but definitely go
Yeah.
and enjoy yourself. All right.
Thank you.
Take care, pal. Bye bye.
You too. Bye.